Can you guys do something funny for the pre-intro?
I think that game was rigged, though.
Okay, thanks, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Season 2 of Keepin It PC. Round of applause. Round of applause. Let's get a round of applause.
Season 2.
Joined by the two lovely guests, or hosts of the show. To my left on Discord, I have the one and only
show.
with the Rangers
Left on
beanie.
Discord.
With the Rangers beanie. What is your lovely name, sir?
My name is for anyone that doesn't remember, because it's been quite a long time. I am your host, Cole Dickinson.
And to my right on Discord with the lovely Knicks hat. What is your name, sir?
Well, I hope everyone remembers my name, but you can call me ASAP Ferg.
Ride with the mob.
From now on, I only want to be referred to as ASAP Ferg. Thank you.
I'd like to be called Lil Dicky.
Oh,
There we go. And then
I
we have
guess
Drake.
I guess
as the
I'm
moderator.
straight.
We
I
three
guess
of the greatest rappers of all time in one call. I mean,
What are the
the
chances?
girls are going wild right now.
When is the last time
Crossover
we have
of the
posted an
century.
episode? I'm gonna look this up.
The last time we posted an episode was before Pat went to college, so I want to say
Couldn't
it was
even
like
tell you.
September, early September.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our We Are Back episode.
The last August.
Yeah, that's actually funny, bro, because that was our We Are Back episode, and I remember saying, "Yeah, we're gonna try to post like one, maybe even 2 times a week," and we just didn't post for like 6 months.
August 19th.
August
the last
19th,
time?
and
What's
and
the last
it is
Yeah, it was a couple days ago.
the recording date of this is December 10th, so that just shows you how long it's been. Not that we haven't,
It's only been like a
not that
couple
we
weeks.
haven't tried. We
Not that we
tried.
haven't
We tried like twice.
It's only been a couple of weeks. Anyways,
But,
we've missed a lot because a couple of weeks is a lot of sports happening, and that's a lot of sports that we missed.
I mean, we missed the
Um,
entire first half of the NFL season, so
I think we
we
did a
because we're off the air.
the last episode we did a top 5 running backs, wide receivers, and quarterbacks and we tried to guess it from Cole's perspective. And I think we kind of did good, and I did good. I don't remember. I'm just talking about how like the running backs are doing right now, wide receivers and quarterbacks.
Well, the leader in rushing so far this year is Josh Jacobs, which no one really saw coming, with Josh McDaniels usually being a running back by committee type of guy. But you know, the Raiders' run game is actually looking pretty good. The only thing that's really looking good on their team, because they're pretty much dog
Well, I
shit.
remember the wide receiver was Justin Jefferson, Ja'Marr Chase, Stephon Diggs. I mean, Chase was injured, so
I think it was Jamar I had at 1. I think Tyreek at 2, Debo, and then I had Jefferson and
yeah,
did I
pretty
have
good list.
Did I have Diggs at 5?
To be
Yeah, I
fair.
mean Debo's been playing hurt this year. Chase obviously got. I mean Debo was hurt most of this year, and Chase got hurt for a
Chase
couple
got
weeks.
hurt.
I'd say
But Hill has been
Tyreek, yeah, he's been outstanding.
I think, yeah. I mean, you watch the game. It's like, how does he just gets open? It's
He
just
has-
like he
he's
throws
so
it and it's open.
He's so good that he's making Tua look like an MVP. He's actually tricking people into thinking that Tua is an
I
elite
think
quarterback.
I think Tua is a pretty good quarterback. Being helped surely by his very talented wide receiver core, but I think any quarterback was helped by talented receivers.
Absolutely,
So,
but
I mean-
I look at it like this. It's like with Tua, yes, he's a very good quarterback, but I think people have put him into this elite conversation, put him up with the MVPs of the league and some of the best quarterbacks in the league, and I think they're kind of jumping the gun a little bit because I don't think his play is on that level yet.
Except for that
think
one
it's more-
time. Except for that one
Or
time.
just his numbers.
Except for that one time he started throwing gang signs when he was on the floor. I don't know what was up with that.
Yeah, dude. I actually that was crazy. How did he play after that? Which is I don't like that was.
He played 2 weeks after that happened.
How did they let him? I mean, I thought he was like.
I thought he was
done.
I thought he was done.
done, dude.
How does that?
That was-
I do
thought
have
his
a.
career was over.
Yeah, I think a lot of people thought his career might be over. Like that was bad.
I Okay, I'm gonna bring it up. Our close friend Mike also had a concussion and he was done for football. Why wasn't Tua done with football, but Mike was a close friend? Was there like a
Well,
difference? Because Tua's looked really bad. Because
Because
he was.
Tua is a professional quarterback, and Mike had like 3 games left in his high
yeah,
school career, and he wasn't
there's a
playing in
lot more.
college.
There's a lot more money involved with Tua. A lot more
But
people
how
that.
does I don't think any amount of money can help you with brain issues though. No.
No, I don't think it's about that though. I think they like Tua. It was probably. I mean, I'd assume it was Tua's choice to play,
Yeah.
and that.
I doubt they're forcing him to play.
Yeah, I mean,
They
it
can't
was
really
Tua's
do that.
choice.
Didn't they like fire? They
But
fired the people who let him go back in. They're like,
I
yeah,
don't
you're
know if
good.
they fired him.
yeah, that was not a good look.
I think they did. I don't remember, but yeah.
Okay.
Since we're on the topic of NFL, I mean, we might as well just go into calling the poll. What are we saying? Calling the poll? A
Yeah, you gotta
throwback.
do the intro. You gotta do the intro. You gotta yell it.
All right, folks, welcome back. It has been a long time, but here we are in a brand new segment of Call on the Poll. Today, in Call on the Poll, Patrick and Lucas will be trying to name who they think I have as my top 5 MVP candidates so far in the NFL. I believe we are now in week 14. We are going into week 14 now. So I mean, we're a significant way through the season. I think it's time to start looking at the MVP conversation and saying who's seriously in it and who seriously shouldn't be mentioned in that.
Can I go first? Can I go first,
You
Pat?
can.
Can I go
You
first?
can. You can.
What do you
Okay.
think about it?
I'm just gonna go with a
Yeah,
safe
go ahead.
pick. I'm just gonna go with a safe pick. Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is not
Oh
in my top 5 most valuable
Oh,
player
sh-
candidates. And listen, listen.
Pat's shaking his
People are
head.
gonna-
No.
Here we go.
People are gonna call me
Giants,
an
Giants fan.
No,
Giants fan
listen,
coming.
listen, because I have someone in my MVP conversation. You can't call me a biased Giants fan because you'll see who it is. But Jalen Hurts to me is not the MVP. If you look at, or even a candidate, I guess he's a candidate at some point, but he's not in my top 5. I look at it like this: it's not a pass-heavy offense. His defense is unbelievable. I mean, the weapons he has in offense are unbelievable. If you look at a guy like Jalen Hurts, how valuable is he to that? I think there's a lot of quarterbacks that could come into that Eagles team and they'd be 11-1, they'd be 10-2, they'd be 12-0. Like I think I think almost 10 quarterbacks in the league would be able to replicate exactly what Jalen Hurts is doing with Philadelphia. This is the most valuable player award. When you look at the Eagles team, they are loaded with talent, loaded with talent. To me, what he does for that Eagles team is not as valuable as what other players do for their team, and that's why to me, he's not in that conversation with as a serious MVP candidate. He's having a great year, and you can't call me an Eagles hater or a Giants fan. I said the Eagles would have the best record in the NFC, the best record in the NFL, be the 1 seed in the NFC, and potentially be a Super Bowl
I
team.
disagree that I disagree. I think he is very valuable to the offense. I think the way that he plays, not as pass heavy, but using his ability to run and stuff like that. I mean, I know he's top 10 in passing yards, and I think he's leading the league in touchdowns, or he's top 10 in touchdowns or something like that. I mean, he's having a great season. I don't think he's anywhere near the top guys in this debate, really. But I'm interested to see 5 guys you have over him.
Yeah.
So
5 guys.
I'll reassess this at the end of the list. But I'm
All
gonna
right.
go with who should be number 1. If it's not number 1, your list is fraudulent, and you should just leave the show and maybe find a new identity. Enter witness protection program.
Daniel Jones.
Patrick Mahomes has got to be number 1.
Patrick Mahomes is number 1. I think there's no doubt that at this point in the season, he is the clear-cut MVP. You know, the way Josh Allen's been playing the past 6 weeks, he's kind of put him. Josh Allen was the clear favorite to me through 6 weeks, and then after the bye week, he's not played as well. So right now, Mahomes has been consistently playing well the whole season. The Chiefs are 9-3. They're leading that division. It's not close. I think they're the 2 seed in the AFC right now. I think the Bills are technically the 1 seed, but they're both 9-3 either way. Mahomes is having a phenomenal year. He's leading the league in yards, touchdowns, QBR. I mean, the guy's a superstar. He's going to be the best quarterback in the league for the next 10 years. Like, he's a superstar.
Yeah.
Lucas.
Okay. Wait, I do have one question though. Okay,
Yeah.
wait. I'll ask it after we do this top 5.
Okay.
All right. My second pick is gonna be. I don't know. You go, Pat.
What about I'm throwing in Joey B. Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow is second on my list for the MVP.
I'm just
Now,
going down the
Have you
list,
heard that?
baby.
Have you? Oh, go ahead.
Since week 1, Joe Burrow has 27 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Half of his interceptions this year came in week 1 against the Steelers. He had a bad week 1. Ever since then, he's been phenomenal. And you look at the injuries they've had on offense. I mean, Jamar Chase missed time. T. Higgins missed time. Joe Mixon hasn't been playing as well. Their offensive line is improved, but it's still not great. I think he's actually better this year than he was last year. I think he's taking less unnecessary sacks. I think he's spreading the ball out more. He's getting the ball out quicker. He's been phenomenal this year, and I think underratedly so. He's been, I think, a top 3 quarterback in the league this year. He's second on my list. And the Bengals are 8-4, and they've been playing really well. They just beat the Chiefs. I think they're on another run for the Super Bowl.
I agree that he's been really flying under the radar. I think the Bengals have in general. I think they were off to a rough start. Completely found their form now. They had a great win last week against the Chiefs.
And he's proven that he's not a product of Jamar Chase. Like, Jamar Chase missed multiple weeks, and he still played really high level football.
Lucas,
Huh?
yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna help you guys out a little bit. It's not all. It's not all quarterbacks.
Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons is on my list.
Oh shit!
He's number 4 on my list. Micah Parsons has 12 sacks in 12 games. To me, he has now taken the title of the best defensive player in the league. Aaron Donald's Aaron Donald, but he's not playing up to Aaron Donald level. So right now, I'm going to say that Micah Parsons is the best defensive player in the league. The Cowboys are 9-3 because of Micah Parsons. That defense is unbelievable, and Micah Parsons wreaks havoc on offenses. That defense is good as a whole. DeMarcus Lawrence is having a great year. Trayvon Diggs is a good corner. I mean, they have a good defense, but Micah Parsons, if they didn't have Micah Parsons, it'd be a completely different defense. He not only can he play in coverage, he rushes the pass. I mean, this is a linebacker that is a guy that can play middle linebacker and come off and also play as an edge rusher. Like, he's TJ Watt combined with Fred Warner. Like, it's unbelievable to watch him play. And he has 12 sacks, and he's not always a pass rusher. It's incredible to me. And the Cowboys, I believe, have the number 3 defense in terms of points right now. And I think he's a huge reason why the Cowboys are 9-3. Dak missed a lot of time, and their offense. That's
another team I think
wasn't as good.
That's kind of being, not talked about enough. I think the Cowboys are.
No, they're legit. They're legit.
I think they're legit. Like a really.
Unfortunately, they are.
I think.
And you know what's crazy? There's a legitimate chance that all 4 NFC East teams make the playoffs. There's a legitimate chance. Like, it's not out of the question that it would happen. And if the Commanders had beat the Giants last week, all 4 teams would be in the playoffs right now. And because you look at the NFC, every team behind Washington would be the number 8 seed right now. Every team behind Washington has only 5 wins. So I think it's realistic that you could see all 4 teams make the playoffs.
All right, so he was 4th.
He was 4th, yeah. So we have 3.
We had one
non-quarterbacks.
We have another non-quarterback.
I'll throw Tyreek Hill in there.
Tyreek Hill barely missed it for me. Barely missed it. And the only reason he barely misses it for me, is because he only has 5 touchdowns. And I feel like as a receiver, if you're gonna win, if you're gonna be an MVP candidate, as valuable as he is, it's got to be
the yards he racks up gets them the
absolutely.
touchdowns. It's a direct correlation to them getting down the field, getting the red zone.
There's another guy.
He might not be scoring
Stephon Diggs
touchdown, but he's directly contributing to these touchdowns.
There's another guy, and I really wanted to put Tyreek Hill on here, and he would be my number 6 right now. And realistically, I had him at 5, and then I wanted to. It's really a toss up between 5 and 6 for me. I went with the other guy because I feel like he deserves a little bit more love. because Tyreek Hill kind of gets his recognition. And honestly, bro, like Tyreek Hill might be the best offensive player as a whole in the league. He's electric with the ball. I can't say enough good things about Tyreek Hill, but it comes down to the MVP. It's also a statistical award, which is why I feel like he's lacking a little bit in touchdowns. He has like 1,400 scrimmage yards, which is great, but 5 touchdowns through 12 games. You'd like to see that number. If he had 9, he'd be easily on this list. Easily.
All right. I want to say I don't know if he'll. I think he'll be on the list. Josh Allen.
Josh
the
Allen's,
Buffalo Bills.
Josh Allen's my number 3, and there's one reason why he's number 3. There's one reason. He has tricked people into thinking that the Bills actually have a good offense. The Bills' offense, outside of Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen, is awful. Devin Singletary is not. Josh Allen is their leading rusher. He's their leading rusher. Their offensive line is bad. Their receivers outside of Diggs are not great. I mean, we can say that Gabe Davis is good, but realistically, he gets open once a game and Josh Allen hits him on a 90-yard touchdown. Like, he's not a great receiver. Isaiah McKenzie is an average slot receiver. Like, realistically, that offense is not very good, and somehow they're the number 3 offense in the league. Josh Allen has to carry that team.
And
I mean,
if anything, I think that should boost him in the MVP ratings. Am I wrong?
But the only problem is that the first 6 weeks of the season, this is why he's in the MVP conversation. The first 6 weeks, he was on pace for 54 total touchdowns and 11 interceptions. That is, and 5,600 passing yards. That's outrageously good. But so up until the bye, that was his projection for the season. After the bye week, he's thrown 8 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. He has 9 total turnovers in those 6 games. And to be completely honest, he lost in the game against the Jets, and he lost in the game against Minnesota. So he's lost in, as great as he's been, he has lost the Bills 2 games. So that's why he's number 3.
I agree. I think the turnovers have been a problem. I wouldn't have him. I think 3 is a reasonable place for him. Behind.
He's 3 because he was outstanding
Burrow.
to start the season. He was outstanding to start the season, which is why he's number 3. And I think there's still a chance he can win MVP. Like, if Patrick Mahomes comes out and loses the Chiefs 2 games, and Josh Allen plays phenomenal football down the stretch, I mean, there's a chance he wins MVP. There's still 6 weeks left. Like, we have time. Or how many? There's no 4 weeks left, right? 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Lucas. Do you have any guesses? Because
So how many we got?
Defensive player.
Sauce McGardner.
dude.
Not Sauce.
My boy Matthew Judon.
It's absolutely not Matthew Judon.
He's the only reason the Patriots are fucking anything.
6-6, like
Yeah, he's the only reason they would be. I think 2 and 10 if without Matthew Judon.
There's another guy that
Definition.
Matthew Judon has been incredible this year, though.
Is he on the Cowboys?
He's not on the Cowboys. He's in the NFC though. NFC West.
NFC West. Shaq, I know clue.
Do you have any clue? Or
You said defensive player, NFC West,
defensive end?
defensive end.
It's not Aaron Donald, right? He's not defensive end.
Niners.
Liners.
I mean Bosa.
Boza.
Nick Bosa, man. 11
Really?
games. 11
Top
games.
5 MVP candidate. You got 2
11
fucking defensive players.
11 games, 14 and a half sacks in
A bit of
11
a
games.
stretch.
Number 1 defense in the league. I mean, you look at the Niners, right? Their offense has been banged up this year. I mean, Trey Lance, their starting quarterback, breaks his ankle. Jimmy Garoppolo now goes down. Deebo Samuel's been hurt. George Kittle's been hurt. Trent Williams has been hurt.
They traded irrelevant behind the center.
What's the running back's name? The rookie from last year. I forget his name. This is killing me. I forget his name, but he got hurt week 3, I think, and then Jeff Wilson comes in. He gets hurt. They trade him. So Nick Bosa, I mean, he's been the driving, and that again, it's another case where the defense as a whole is good, but Nick Bosa is the difference maker in that defense. They're the number 1 defense in the league. I mean, that defense is carrying the Niners. It's the only reason they're relevant in the NFC. You know, and to get off Nick Bosa for a second, I was trying so hard to find someone from the Vikings because they're 10 and 2.
I was just about to say, I think I ought to have Jay Jeff in here, Cole. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
can't do it.
Jay Jeff or Tyreek Hill, I think, has got to be in this list.
I couldn't do it.
I think Micah Parsons is all right. I think Nick Bosa.
You say Micah Parsons?
Yes, he's. I'm saying he's all right for the list. I'm saying like I
I was like, whoa.
Micah Parsons is like super fucking big. I don't get the hype around the guy really.
Dude, honestly, as a Giants fan, it's like I love watching him play, but I hate it because he's a Cowboy. But he's so good. It's like stupid how good he is. It's unbelievable.
Here comes Ronaldo. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Oh man.
What I'm saying is I'm having one of those two wide receivers in here. I think they've been like one or two of the best offensive non-quarterback, I think, players in the league.
I could definitely see that.
I'm probably putting Hill at 5. That's my only huge gripe with the list.
Yeah, I could see that. And I really wanted again, here's the thing. I have a hot take about the Vikings. I don't know if it's even hot. But
is it hot? I'll judge hot.
I'll judge hot. I don't know if it's hot or cold because I really don't know what people think about the Vikings, but I really
hot or cold? That's a good segment.
Hot or cold, bro.
Hot or cold.
Bro. All right.
Dude, my fucking brain's
Your brain is on fire today, dude. So yeah. I really don't think the Vikings are that good. I mean, they're number 10 in offense. They're number 22 in defense. It's just kind of like they've scraped by on some wins. They're 10. Like, I'm not saying they're a bad team. They're a good team. But when it comes to the playoff time, how much do I really trust the Vikings to go out there and get it done?
Imagine Justin Jefferson.
I'm taking I would take the Cowboys in the game against them. I would take the Eagles. I would take the Niners. I would.
The Niners with
whoever
the fuck their quarterback is now.
Yeah,
Who the fuck is their quarterback? I don't even know the guy's name. Literally the last pick of the draft. Is he good?
Purdy. And he played all right, to be fair, but I feel like it's a Bailey Zapp situation. He's gonna play well for 2 weeks and then kind of suck.
Or a Mike White situation.
Maybe Mike White, by the way, Hold on, that's another thing we got to talk about. The Jets. Right, so I'm gonna come here and
Sauce McGardner.
Come here, Jesus.
Nah, hey yo, we just got back.
You know what's crazy? I'm about to talk about Zach Wilson too. So
no wonder he's gonna come.
So I want to just say, I'm off the bandwagon with Zach Wilson. I'm officially off of it. At some point, you have to just put it together. And he's shown no signs of improvement. In fact, he's gotten worse. And I don't know if it's because he still has a lingering injury, but at some point, I just don't want to hear it, man.
They've neutered Cole. I'm not going to take all the blame off Zach Wilson. I want to say one thing. Don't expect this kid to take accountability for anything because he's never had to take accountability for anything in his life. So why the hell would he start taking accountability now? It's like that interview question, do you blame yourself for the loss? Because the Jets defense is like fucking Hall of Fame worthy. If they had a quarterback, they'd be like easily like one of the best fucking teams in the league. I mean, so don't expect him to start taking accountability because he's not going to do it. Second of all, they've neutered him. They don't let him make mistakes. They don't let him take chances. If you ever watch the Jets with Zach Wilson, they are so afraid of him making any mistakes. They don't let him throw the ball downfield. They do checkdowns half the time. They've neutered him like a dog. They don't let him do anything. And I think while a lot of this has been on Zach Wilson, he has talent. He's not putting anything together. He's played like shit. He single-handedly lost them 2 games against the Patriots, which they could have won, by the way.
And by the way, in his career, he's been god awful against the Patriots, like horrible. He had the 4 interception game last year. This year he was. I mean, the reason he got benched is horrible.
I pray they play him every week.
I mean, it's a free win at that point. But here's the thing: it's like the guy in college. He played with this sort of arrogance that I liked about him because he wasn't afraid to make any throw. He tried to fit balls in tight, but I don't think that's on the Jets. When I watch him play, he'll stare at a wide open receiver and not throw it. He'll just look at him. And I'm sitting there like he'll and you know what? The one thing he's been good at in the NFL is escaping pressure. He's great at escaping pressure, but he doesn't finish the play. He escapes pressure and then he'll throw a ball into the dirt, or he'll throw it away, or he'll throw a pick, or he'll loft it up in the air, like he'll throw a little floater like a lollipop ball up in the air. And I'm like, what? I never saw him ever do that in college. I've never seen him throw some of the balls he does in the NFL in college. This little like he loves to he'll roll right, escape pressure, and then loft the ball like 50 feet in the air. I'm like, what the hell is that? Let it rip. He has no confidence in himself. I don't know what happened. And the press conference was awful. He took I mean, your defense allowed 3 points, and you get up there and say,
and
no,
a punt return for a touchdown is what lost you the game. If you put a fucking field goal up, dude, you win the game. It would be 6-3. We're not scoring. Maybe we get a field goal to tie it, but that game was fucking miserable.
And this is the thing.
They have anybody else, literally anybody else in the NFL. I think they win that game.
They had -2 passing yards as an offense in the second half. How is that possible? He couldn't.
I want to say
it's bad.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't know if they should put him back in. I don't think they should.
We have 4 weeks left, right? Mike White has already been way better than Zach Wilson has.
Here's my thing. I don't know if they should ever put him back in. This team is good now.
He has to prove himself.
In the NFL,
challenge. Give him a challenge. Make him win his job back. He is the definition of white privilege. You want to fucking be like you. You go be like, look at the kid. You know that kid got everything handed to him in life. Make him earn something.
But this is my problem, though. The Jets are good right now. Their problem is quarterback. In the NFL, you have to take advantage of when you're good right now. They need to.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't.
They can't wait. They have no time to waste.
This isn't the 1980s anymore. You cannot win without a quarterback. It's plain and simple. I don't care how good the defense is. You see it with the Jets. Their defense is very good. I don't think anybody can deny how good their defense is. It's really, really good. And if they had a serviceable quarterback at best, they'd be a very, very good team.
Their offense is good. They have good players on offense. Their offensive line isn't the best.
That's what I'm saying.
Their receivers are good. Their running backs are good. Like, they have a good team. They have a really good team. They're 7-5 despite the quarterback issues. Imagine what they'd be if they had Kirk Cousins. If they had
at least,
you know what? Put Mac Jones on the Jets. I think they're 9-3. Put Jimmy G on the Jets. They're not they need someone like that, bro. Like, if you put a guy,
you mentioned Mac Jones. I want to say one thing, kind of close out the NFL issue right now, and then I think we should move on. Right?
Yeah.
Why? And I said this. I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, but I was saying this to people before the season started. Why the fuck is Matt Patricia the offensive coordinator of the New England Patriots? Whose decision was that? Because if it was Belichick, get him checked for fucking dementia or so. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this guy. Who made that decision? Who greenlit that shit? You couldn't find anybody else to be the offensive coordinator besides Matt Patricia? It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. That's malpractice. Somebody should sue the Patriots. That's a disgrace. I despise watching this team every single fucking week. This guy is the worst offensive mind I've ever seen in my life. Fucking put Joe Judge as the coordinator. I don't give a fuck. Get Matt Patricia out of there right fucking now. I can't watch it anymore. Send him to Mars. Put him on a fucking spaceship. It's embarrassing. People love to hate Mac Jones, but you watch the game. It's the most unimaginative offense you've ever seen in your life. It's like a high school team. It's embarrassing. And this defense is good. This team would be okay, maybe, if Matt Patricia. I don't think Mac Jones is the huge problem. I think he hasn't played good. I don't think he hasn't played the best. But I think a lot of that is because Matt Patricia's fucking feeding the plays.
Mac Jones is always going to be. I think he's a good quarterback, and I think this is fair. He's a Kirk Cousins level quarterback. He's going to be his success is going to depend on the pieces around him and the coaching. And I think when you go from a guy like Josh McDaniels, who is a vet, who has one of the most complex offensive systems in the league.
Please bring McDaniels back. I'm begging the Raiders fire him. I'm begging them.
By the way, McDaniels is not a good head coach, but as an offensive coordinator, he's very good. I think
Please.
he's not perfect as an offensive coordinator, but I think he's good enough. And I think
I don't advocate. I'm not going to advocate for anybody to lose their job. People got to pay their bills,
Right.
support their families. Matt Patricia should never have a job in the NFL again. Put him at fucking Walmart. Put him at
Especially-
fucking.
but
put him
especially
at a gas
not
station attendant. I don't give a fuck.
especially not as an offensive coordinator though. This guy was a defensive coordinator and a defensive head coach.
Exactly. He's a
What's he
defensive
doing?
coach. Why is it the offensive coordinator? Who said, yeah, that's a good idea. A fucking idiot.
This is my problem with Bill Belichick. The one problem I have with Bill Belichick, and I think his time is coming to an end because of things like this. I think at some point he's become a little too arrogant with himself. You're not so good that you can put a defensive coordinator at offensive coordinator and still be
I
good.
just think he trusts these guys. I think he trusts these guys too much.
I don't know. I feel like
mean,
it's a little
Patricia's
bit of
been around
arrogance.
forever. Why the fuck is? I don't understand. If you're gonna bring it back, okay, do him in a defensive role. Make him the fucking linebackers coach for all I care. Why is he the fucking offensive coordinator?
Yeah, I mean,
Idiotic stuff. These guys get paid millions of dollars to make these decisions.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Also, by the way, if any team after this year is looking for a head coach, there's a guy who is an assistant on the Steelers right now named Brian Flores. And it is an absolute travesty that this man does not have a head coaching job because he is the only reason the Dolphins were good the past couple of years. And Mike McDaniels took over a different Dolphins team. He got lucky with Tyreek. Not lucky. I mean, he made that team. And Mike McDaniels is a great coach, but Brian Flores deserves a head coaching job, and I really hope that he gets one because I think it's a shame that he is sitting on the bench as an assistant on the Steelers. Should we move on?
Let's
move on to baseball.
Baseball.
Mm.
All right, let's get this out of the way because this is the last time until the fucking season starts that I want to talk about Aaron Judge, right?
Me too.
This is
Me too.
The last fucking time. I'm going to say one thing. 9 years, $60 million?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not in love with the deal, all right? I agree giving a 9-year contract to a 31-year-old is risky, especially, I mean, whatever. That's just how it does. That's just how they do it now. They tack on these years. That's how the market is. Like whether you agree with it or not, this was the reality of the situation. Someone's going to give it to him. We saw the fucking Padres, 10 years, $400 million. I mean, is it probably maybe going to bite them in the ass the last 4 years of the contract? Very likely, very possible, right? Is it, I think, a good idea that they re-signed him? Yes. I do think it's a good thing that they re-signed him for the team, for the fan base, for the franchise. That's all I'll say about it. Is it probably going to, be a pain in the ass paying this guy that much money when in his age 37 season? Of course it is, but that's just how these contracts go now. Trey Turner, 11-year fucking deal is going to be 41. I mean, they're going to eat the last 5 years of that contract, at least 6. Who knows? Who knows? I mean,
here's my issue with all this. We can say that this is how the market works, right? But at some point, when are these teams going to realize that it is extremely, extremely... I mean, there has almost never been a case of some of these contracts working out. You look at a guy like Albert Pujols. His last year in St. Louis, he was an MVP candidate. The next year, he goes to the Angels. I mean, it wasn't like it was a gradual fall off. He fell off right away. I mean, right away. You look at a guy like Anthony.
I just
Anthony.
don't
I want to get all this off. Anthony Rendon, another guy. He signs right away, falls off. And this is not a thing of me not liking Judge. I have a problem with all these contracts. The Bogarts deal, the Trey Turner deal, the Judge deal. This is my thing with Aaron Judge, though. It's the money. I would have rather offered him $360 million over 5 years. I would have offered him $400 over 5 years. I would have rather given him that than give him a little bit less for 9 years. Because to
Corey,
me,
Corey, you
if
have to
you're the
understand-
Yankees, why I'm the Yankees? I don't have to be desperate. I don't have to give them that.
Cole, you
I'm
have
the
to
Yankees.
Cole, you have to understand. You have to understand the power of the union. They are not going to let this guy take a 5-year contract. They know Aaron Judge wants a long-term deal, guaranteed money going to into his career, and somebody's going to give it to him. That's just the way the market works. So the union would never sign off on a 4-year, $400 million deal. It would never happen. They want
I think
these
it
guys.
would.
They want these guys to be around in the league as long as possible, so they collect the most amount of guaranteed money. That's all it is.
Even besides that point, if I'm the Yankees, I don't have to do bad business. You're the New York Yankees.
It's bad business.
I
don't think
do.
it's bad
I personally
business.
do. I personally
I don't think
do.
it's bad business.
I think at some point, because the Red Sox are the same thing with Mookie Betts. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you're loved by the fans. I don't care. This is about winning a World Series. This is not about pleasing the fans.
I think
the fans will be happy with the World Series.
Their window is like, what's their window? What do you think their championship window is right now?
They don't have one right now. They haven't proven to be a championship team.
What do you think? If it's possible, even the slightest bit possible that they win a championship, how long do you think that window's open?
That's the thing. Patrick, I genuinely.
Okay, cool. Say they sign Correa fucking 2 weeks. Or say they sign Correa next week or something. Say they sign
any of the problems.
Say they sign Rodon, right? Just
that's the thing. I genuinely think this team has no chance of. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But this is not hate. This is not me hating the Yankees. I genuinely don't see a scenario where they win a World Series. Their team is not put together to win in the playoffs. It's not. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry. I don't want to hear that you're the MVP of the league, but you get an excuse for playing bad in the playoffs because the pitching's better. You're the best player in the league. There's no excuse for him having a 490 OPS in the playoffs. There's no excuse. I'm not going to
go into this again. I'm not going to go into this again.
I'm
not going to go into this again. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it again. I've already said this. It's
not basing his whole career off a 9-game sample size. It's saying if you can't show up in the playoffs when it really matters, why am I going to?
Nobody, Cole. He didn't lose them the playoffs.
He didn't lose them the playoffs. I didn't say he lost them. Here's the thing, Pat. Nobody hit, and that includes your best player. So to sit there, and I said in the group chat the other day, Aaron Judge was a part of the Yankees' problem. I'm sorry. What is the number one problem with the Yankees? They strike out a ton. They can't put the ball in play when it matters. Aaron Judge led the Yankees in strikeouts. He is a part of that problem. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. He is a part of their strikeouts problem. If you lead the team in strikeouts, you are a part of their strikeout problem. There's no way around it. No way around it. Yes, is he the only reason they were in the playoffs? Yes. But the problem of striking out, he played a part in that. There's no way around it. There's no way you can say he didn't. The guy had a top 10 strikeout rate in the league. It is a problem. Re-signing Aaron Judge does not solve anything for the Yankees. They're the same team. They're the same team they were in June as they are now. It didn't solve one problem.
And they would be a whole lot worse without him, Cole. That's why they re-signed him. That is why they re-signed him. It's very simple.
But, okay, Pat, is this how you run a team? You want to be in the same cycle for the next 9 years? Is that what they want?
So you want them to finish fourth, is what you're saying. You want them to just not re-sign him and finish fourth.
It's better for them to look what the Red Sox did.
They're the Yankees. They have to be competitive, you fucking idiot.
They don't.
Have to. It's their brand. They're not going to just let him walk. They're not going to let him walk. He's a forever Yankee. He's a forever Yankee.
That's the problem.
They were going to re-sign him.
Hal
was not going to let him go. He was the fucking white whale, Cole. He was not going to let him go.
Doesn't matter.
Whether you agree or disagree, it's just the reality of the situation.
I'm not talking about whether it's the reality of the situation. I'm talking about what they should have done, what they want to do if they want to win a World Series. The reality of this is they're going to be the same team next year as they were this year. Nothing's going to change. They're going to win 95 games. They're going to lose in the ALDS or the ALCS, and it's going to repeat year after year after year because re-signing Aaron Judge did nothing for them. They still are locked up in Stan's contract. They're now locked up in Cole's contract. They're now locked up in Judge's contract. They have no flexibility. They traded away Urshela, who helped them. They're only guys that could hit in situations are aging, they're screwed. They're screwed. I think this didn't help them at all. If I'm the Yankees, I don't understand why I have to resign to appease the fans. I don't care about appeasing the fans.
Because
The Yankees,
he was
the
the
Yankees
their
are
best
not going.
player.
The Yankees are.
It's as
The
simple
Yankees are
as
never
he
going to
was
lose
their
fans.
best player.
Doesn't
Let's
matter.
re-sign him to a
Mookie
long-term
Betts was our
contract.
best player. We didn't re-sign him.
Oh yeah, the way it's worked out great. It's worked out fantastic.
Would it have been any different? Would we have won a World Series if we kept Mookie Betts?
No.
Thank you. So here's the thing, Pat. First of all, here's the two differences. Mookie Betts, when the Dodgers signed him, was 27. That's the first thing. And
But also, you want to
Mookie
bring
Betts
up
also-
playoffs. You want to bring up playoffs. You've admitted that Mookie Betts is not a great playoff
Absolutely.
hitter.
Absolutely.
The Yankees won the World Series. I mean, the reason the Red Sox won the World Series in 2018 is because their lineup was so fucking
Yes.
deep.
Yes.
They could pick up their star player. Judge doesn't have that kind of. Now, I'm not saying he didn't perform in the playoffs. There's no other way around it. Like, I'm not going to say he played good in the playoffs, right? Whatever. Offensively, he played shit, right? But he didn't. The rest of the lineup, it's a group as a whole. You're not singling out.
I'm not saying he lost in the
You're
playoffs.
singling
What I'm
out-
saying is he's a part of their problem right now, and their problem isn't fixed by signing Aaron Judge. And
Did I say the problem was fixed? I didn't say anything about the problem was fixed.
the amount of,
maybe it's not a bad idea to sign your best player. I just don't know. That's just my brain.
I'm not
That's
saying
just
it's
my
a
brain.
bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but what I'm saying is I don't see how this helps them win a World Series. And if you're the Yankees,
When did I say that?
I didn't
When
say.
did I say, oh, the Yankees have obviously got to be favorites to win the World Series now. They just re-signed Judge.
I didn't say you said that, but what I'm saying is, if I'm the Yankees, Pat, the whole you're the Yankees. Your goal is not to please the fans; it's to win a fucking World Series. You're not going to lose fans if you finish fourth. You're not. You're not going to lose fans. The Yankees fans are going to buy their jerseys. They're going to do everything. They're going to support the Yankees, whether you finish fifth, whether you finish 18th in the division. I don't give a fuck. The Yankees aren't losing fans, dude. The Yankees did not need to make that move. Okay, so then finishing fourth for 2 years
as an organization, they don't want to finish fourth. It's very simple.
Sometimes
do you want to finish higher in the division, or do you want to finish lower in the division?
And this is why the Red Sox are a better run organization. We are willing to finish last to win a World Series. We're willing to finish last. Sometimes you can't re-sign your best player.
That's a debate. That's a debate, right? Would you rather, win 95 games every year for 20 years or win one World Series?
If you look at the Yankees' contract situation, re-signing Judge gives them zero flexibility. They're already locked up in Cole. They're already locked up in Stan. They have other contracts on the team that they're locked up in. It doesn't make any sense to me. Because with re-signing Judge, now you have 3 massive contracts on your team. There's no salary cap in baseball, but there is a luxury tax. And believe it or not, the teams don't want to be over the luxury tax every year.
Well, I know for a fact the Yankees don't want to be over the luxury tax.
No team wants to be over.
I know the Mets. I don't think the Mets give a fuck. I don't think Cohen gives a flying fuck. I mean, they're already over the tax.
Yeah, I mean, maybe some teams don't, but most teams, and let's be honest, the teams, even Cohen, like, he's not going to want to be over the luxury tax for 10 years. Because also, being over the luxury tax, it helps the other teams, because that money that you're over the luxury tax goes to the other teams. So, but to me, it's like the Yankees, you're not the A's. Like, you don't need to make moves like this. To me, am I crazy? Like, to me, you're the Yankees, bro. Like, you don't need to make a move like that. You can attract superstar players who are younger, who haven't had injury history. You can say what you want, but Aaron Judge, whether we like it or not, he has an injury history. Like, he's 30. He's 30, going to be 31. Like, at what point is it like?
But okay. I'm going to say one thing, and then we're going to move on. I want to talk about Bogarts a little bit. MVP last year, 62 home runs, right? By far the best player in the league. You can throw Ohtani up there because he's a two-way player, all that, whatever. I think if they get 5 great years out of Judge, and that's an if, and everything's an if. Everything's a hypothetical. Nothing is guaranteed, right? Nothing is guaranteed. You could sign a fucking star 21-year-old. You can sign Tatis, and he can fucking break his leg in a motorcycle accident, right?
Absolutely.
Nothing is guaranteed. If they get 5 good years out of him, and they're contending, even if they don't win the World Series, which I don't think they will, with this currently constructed team and the way they play in the playoffs, right? I agree with everything you're saying. Strikeouts, they don't hit, and no situational hitting at all. if they get 5 good years out of him, if they contend, I think if you're the Yankees, you got to be happy with that.
To me, I'm not. If I'm a Yankee fan, I'm not happy with that. I'm not. My goals as the Yankees, you're the most winning franchise in sports history. Your goal is to win the World Series, not win the AL East.
And
To
they're going
me,
to try
it's
to
like
win the World Series.
I don't
so
think
they signed the
they're
reigning
gonna
MVP.
try, but
They re-signed the reigning MVP of the league, and I don't think,
let's be honest.
in my opinion, I don't think that hurts the campaign that much.
But Pat, let's just be completely honest. The chances that Judge ever repeats a season like that are
he's not going to repeat a season like that.
Are closer to 0 than it is even 1%.
He's not going to repeat a season like that. I don't think he's going to repeat a season like that.
Honestly,
do I think he can have like 4 or 5 good years around covering on 40 home runs, 35 home runs? Yes. That's a very productive player with a great glove and a leader in the clubhouse.
But here's my thing, Pat. It's like
there's always a thing.
There is because here's the thing I like about the move, because I don't want to be all negative. I want to say what I like about it. I don't personally agree with this. I wouldn't run a team like this, but it means a lot to Yankee fans to re-sign Judge. They love him. He's the captain of the team. They have the Judge's chambers out there. That's the part of the move I like. Like it's a culture move. I think he's the face of the Yankees right now, and I think it is a big deal to re-sign him. But at some point, it has to be about baseball, and I don't think it's the best baseball move they could have made. In terms of
okay, I'm going to say one more thing. You're going to say it, and they're going to go. What they don't. Judge goes to the fucking Giants, right? Whatever they offered him, goes out to the Bay Area. What are you doing as a GM to replace that bat, to replace that glove, to replace that leadership?
It's not about. First of all, it's not about replacing right away. Sometimes things take time. Things take time, and let's be completely honest with ourselves.
Your fan base doesn't care about time. They want to win.
I understand, but in my opinion, you don't win with or without him. So with the team constructed right now, if you lose Judge, you're going to lose. I mean, to me, it's like he played that well last year, and they still didn't win 100 games. They still didn't make the World Series. He's not going to repeat a season like that, which means he's not going to carry a team ever again like he did like that. So let's be realistic here. That team with the Yankees, I can't see. First of all, Nestor Cortez had a career year. He's never proven to pitch that well ever. So chances are he doesn't pitch like that again. All their players are aging. It's like this team is not going to be good for long. At what point do you say, okay, we got to get rid of these guys? Let's say it takes 2 or 3 years. You got to finish 4th in division. You got to eat that. But
they got a better chance to win with him though, rather than without him, right?
Of course they do. Of course. But to me,
isn't that what you want to do as a team, to have that percentage go higher and higher? Because you're never going to have
that's all you can do.
But at what point you have to be realistic and say,
because you're never going to have a 100% chance to win the World Series.
Of course not. But at what point do you have to be realistic and say, we've ran it back with this team for 5 years. We haven't won. We've had the same result every year. Why do I think that if I run it back again, it's going to be different? The definition of being stupid is trying something over and over again and it failing.
Well, that's the definition of insanity, Cole.
Insanity, sorry.
Trying something over and over again,
insanity.
Expecting a different result. I agree.
But to me, it's insane. I don't see another result.
I agree that the Yankees should. I think they should have an overhaul. Get rid of Donaldson. Get rid of all these guys. I think the Urshela trade was dumb. I mean, we can get into all this, but I want to talk about Bogarts, right? Because as a Red Sox fan, this hurt my soul.
Yeah.
Seeing this man leave, he's been the best player since Mookie left. I mean, he was one of the best players on the team during that 2018 run. One of the best shortstops in the league. Is it a contract I would have given him? Absolutely not. First of all, the Padres are just desperate to fucking give their money to anybody. I think if they didn't sign, they didn't get Turner, they didn't get Judge. I think if they didn't get Bogarts, they would have just given it to some fucking random homeless guy on the side of the street. I mean, they're just dying to give their money away for some reason.
Am I sad to see him go? Absolutely.
Am I sad to see him go? Is that a fucking ridiculous And first of all, let me blame Red Sox ownership. John Henry, you're a fucking clown. Sell the team. You're a joke. Because this should have been done last offseason, buddy. He should have never gotten to the open market. I mean, they were offering him 6 years, 160. That's a fucking joke. That's a fucking joke. You're not competitive. You're not trying to be competitive in the offer. So don't lie to the public and say, yeah, we're really trying to re-sign him when you're not. 6 years, 160 was not even close to what he was going to get the job done. I'm sorry, it wasn't. So don't tell the fans that you're working to get a deal done when you're really not, because that was never going to fucking happen.
That's where I agree with you, Pat. At some point, it's like, at some point you have to be realistic and be like, okay, I can't. Is 6 years, 160 a good contract for Xander Bogaerts? In my opinion, yes, but realistically, it's never going to happen. Like, you're never going to sign him for that.
Yeah, we got to get out of fantasy land, right?
Exactly. Like, at some point, you can't. You have to at least like with Judge. I'm well aware he's not going to sign a 5-year, $200 million contract. As much as I would say that's what he's worth, I know he's not going to do it.
Any Boras client is going to get a ridiculous amount of money on the open market.
Right.
Anything. So that's why you have to lock them up before that. This should have been done last. Yeah. This should have been done last off season. I'm sorry. You could have gotten him way less than 11 years, $280 million. You could have. You really could have. Because once he sees that money, he's like, "Oh, this is a joke what the Red Sox are giving me. This is a fucking clown show. No way. I'm going to San Diego."
So what it is right now, honestly, as sad as I am to see him go, between the two options of that contract or letting him go, I mean, they made the right choice. They made the right choice. I agree. Because at the end of the day, we just drafted a shortstop, number 4 overall. He's a top 10 prospect in baseball. You gotta. This is the thing that I like about the Red Sox and the new and Chaim Bloom. They're willing to move on, and I think that's an admirable quality about this new management. As much as we can say about John Henry, and I agree with you, you should sell the team. But I actually like Chaim Bloom. I think they're going in. I don't like this. As you can see, as I thought about the Judge thing, I don't like this idea of, oh, he's got to be a Red Sox for life. As great as it sounds, it can't happen with everybody. It just can't. It's not realistic. At some point, you have to think about what's best for baseball, what's best for the future of the team, and I think they made the right decision at the end of the day. Now, I think they need to lock up Devers as soon as possible.
If they don't sign Devers, I might have to. I don't know what I would do.
These are the situations where
I would reach extremes. I would reach extremes. I might go to prison. I don't know.
These are the situations where I'm all for. Sign him. 12 years, $500 million. Fuck it.
Yes.
That's where I'm all for it. Because you know why I'm all for it? Because in that contract, yes, it might be ending when he's 37, but you get his entire prime. You get his early 30s where he's still going to be good. That's when I'm a fan. That's when I'm willing to eat those last couple of years of the contract. Like, okay, I accept that you're not going to be as good. But I'm okay with that because I get your whole prime and your early 30s where you're going to be good. With the contracts where they sign in their early 30s, it's like, okay, I just missed your prime. I get your early 30s, and then I got to eat half the contract.
I don't care what they do. Re-sign Rafael Devers babyface right now. Do it. I want to see it tomorrow.
Yeah,
I want to see it tomorrow. I want to wake up. They give him fucking 15 year. I don't know. I'm joking, but like I don't know, like 12, whatever, 12 years. You said 12 years, 500 million. Fine, I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
Yeah, it's not going to be that. It's probably going to be 12 years. 12 years, 360 million, something like that.
Get it done. That's all I'm saying.
I like the Bogaerts. I don't like the Bogaerts deal, but I think it's a horrible contract. But the one good thing about letting Bogaerts go is I think it gives Trevor Story a chance to move back to shortstop where he's more comfortable, and hopefully that he didn't have a bad year last year, but hopefully that gives him more sense of normalcy. And
he got hurt last year. I think he's a better defensive shortstop than Bogaerts was.
Absolutely. Bogaerts hasn't been defensively since his early in his career. I mean,
I love Xander Bogaerts. I will always, love the man for what he did for the team. But Is it probably a wise decision to not? I mean, they weren't even close. They weren't even considering anything like that.
No.
They said the contract that came out was 6 years, 160. That's not even in the same stratosphere.
Yeah, I
So-
mean that's disrespectful. So that's what I don't. That's the only thing that's like. At some point, you have to be like, okay, that it's just never gonna. He's never gonna sign for that. Like, yes, maybe that's closer to what he's worth than 11 years, 280. But how about offer him 6 years, 240? You know what I mean?
Or eight,
Like,
meet in the middle, 8 years, something, right? Just should have gotten it done, right?
Yeah.
Should have got it done. That's all I gotta say. And one more thing, they're talking about this Emmanuel Valdez guy, who I think was in AAA last year, had a
Yeah.
had a .918 OPS. So they're talking about him for second base, which I wouldn't mind seeing.
listen, I'm well aware that the Red Sox are in a rebuilding stage right now, and I've accepted it. And it is what it is. It has happened.
Okay,
I trust them though. I trust the front office.
Lucas.
that's the MLB.
What's your favorite baseball?
My favorite baseball, Frank Sinatra. That's who it is.
Fair enough.
Let's
All right, let's talk about.
talk about
Mundo.
let's talk about
Mundo.
the World Cup. Now,
Oh man, I love soccer, man.
now, we're
I
already
have
in.
watched every
we're already
single
in-
fucking game except for the 5 a.m. ones.
Yeah,
We're
me too.
we're already in quarterfinals. The Morocco and Portugal game is going on right now. And
We're
speaking
already
of
there right now.
Portugal's might lose.
Nothing, by the way.
Yeah, Portugal might lose. So that's gonna be a shocker. Everyone wanted to
We'll keep
see.
you up to date. I know
Everyone,
this is live as
everyone,
fuck.
everyone wanted to see Argentina versus Portugal finals. But probably not gonna happen now because Morocco's winning. Anyways, I am half Brazilian, and if you don't know, if you're living under a rock,
Brasil.
Brazil got upsetted by Croatia. Now, here's a
Yeah.
crazy fact. Three of the last 4 games of the knockout matches Croatia has played has gone to penalties. Isn't that crazy?
That's what I said. I was live texting you guys during the game, right? We were in group chat.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
saying,
No, I
don't let
was too nervous. I
Croatia
couldn't
get-
go in there.
Don't let Croatia get to penalties. That is their sweet spot. This is the game they play. They want to get 0-0 the entire fucking game. That's why I do not want them in the final, because that would be a horrendously boring game. Because
Yeah.
it would just be no score till penalties. And penalties would be exciting, but I don't want to sit through 120 minutes of nothing. That's the game Croatia plays. So I'm heavily rooting for Argentina. I was already rooting for them because I want to see Messi win the World Cup. Yeah, I think
Hold on, real quick. I'm not gonna sit here. I've learned a lot about soccer recently, and I love it. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm a soccer expert.
Yeah.
But how the fuck do you not have Neymar take a penalty in the pen?
No, because before the penalties,
How?
you already choose the 5 players that you want in order.
Why
And
would he have
Neymar-
no-
Neymar was because
think
that's
he
how
was the
Brazilians
last.
do it. That's how Brazilians do it. They always save
Uh,
best for last. They
but-
save the
but-
best for last.
There's
I'm
no
putting- if I'm a
guarantee that
manager-
this
No,
last
but don't
anyway.
get me wrong though.
If I'm a
Every other
manager-
player on the Brazil's team is really good as well. The announcers were
I'm not saying
talking.
he's not.
The announcers were saying that Brazil could literally have a second team with all Brazilians, and they could still make it out of the group stages.
I know, but this is the thing. Neymar is statistically the best penalty taker in the world. I mean, he would take the penalties for every team in the world, every club team in the world. He would take the penalty. When he
Can I-
was at
can I-
Barcelona with Messi, he took the penalties.
Can I
Mhm.
like I can understand them wanting to save, the best for last kind of thing. If I'm a manager, I'm putting my best guy at
First.
third.
I'm
I'm
putting
putting him at
first.
third. That's the most
That's
decisive.
what
penalty.
Croatia
The
did,
third
though.
one is
Isn't
the
that
most
what
decisive.
Croatia did?
Croatia, yeah, they
sorry,
put
but the
Modric
first one,
Yeah.
the first one statistically is the least important one. The third one is statistically the most important one because it's the decisive in the middle. Like
Yeah.
if they miss 2 and you make one on the third one, you're golden.
and you're
That's the penalty you need to make.
Yeah.
Even if you're ahead, if you're behind, the third one, fourth one, these are the ones that you need to make. I'm putting my best guy there. No idea why they save him for 5th.
well,
First or third is where I put him.
I can get behind that, Pat, because you're guaranteed to take a third penalty. There's no guarantee you go to a 5th penalty.
Exactly. I
Neymar's
agree.
been guaranteed to take a penalty. That's because, and by the way, there's no guarantee that the 5th one is the last one. Like it could be 5-5, and you keep going. So
Yeah.
there's no point really for me. Like you have to have Neymar take a penalty. Like you have to. You can't. It makes no sense to me. I don't know.
Props to the Croatian goalie though, because that was his
Croatia
fourth
does this
penalty
every
save.
fucking year.
That was his
They're
fourth
good.
penalty save. He did 3 saves against Japan in penalties.
They're always like a dark horse. They're always like a dark horse. I mean, they made it to the final in 2018.
And it's I know they've won on penalties a lot, but they're actually really good. Like they play really well. Like it's not just they've won. They've got
Modric is really fucking good.
Modric is unbelievable.
Oh,
No way.
oh, Ronaldo sucks.
Oh,
Oh my god, no! I'm a little bit behind
Oh
you.
my
Oh shit!
God.
God! Oh, Ronaldo! Ronaldo!
Oh
Wait, what
my
just happened?
God.
What just happened?
Pinaldo.
What happened?
Patrick's a
What a
Ronaldo hater.
save. What a save. What a save.
That
Wait,
actually isn't a
can-
bad shot.
Can you explain,
Moroccan
Pat?
goalkeeper. Anybody?
Pat, can you explain what just happened? What just happened?
There was a very good ball for Ronaldo, and I guess he tried to shoot it to his right. A great save by the goalkeeper, I gotta admit. So still 1-0 Morocco. We got 7 minutes left of extra time. Desperate times for Portugal. So we will, keep you up to date. Even though when you're listening to this, you already know the result. But
Oh my gosh!
I want to talk about the USA. I think that's about what you could expect.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as that Netherlands game started, like they had that early chance with Pulisic right in front of the goalkeeper. If he fucking makes that, it's a completely different game.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were just outmatched. I mean, it was an entirely different level of team, the Netherlands, right? It's just not even like the same thing. They have is experienced European, South American league player, like club players, and the USA has a lot of MLS guys. I mean, Pulisic's the star. You have
Actually, real quick,
we're getting more European players
for Juventus. You have a couple Leeds guys who I think Tyler Adams is Leeds.
Yunus Musa plays for Villarreal in La Liga.
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of guys, but I mean that Memphis Depay, Dumfries. I mean, Virgin Van Dijk was, he's one of the top. I mean, you watch the fucking Netherlands, dude, they're all like 6'5".
Yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck? They're huge.
6'8".
They're huge.
Get them on a basketball court.
Basketball team. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
Wait, Virgil van Dijk, like, bro, he just looks so massive on the
Virgin Van Dijk.
He's massive, dude. Like, oh, by the way, one thing about the U.S.
Pause, bro.
This is wow, Pat. Yeah, that
guy is so massive. Holy shit!
It's dying. Yeah, but Pat, Yunus Musa, the midfielder for U.S., he's apparently been linked to sign with Arsenal in the winter, which is in January. And I thought he played very well. You know who was the biggest who rose his stock the most for the U.S.? Tyler Adams. Tyler Adams is probably going to sign with one of the big 6 clubs in England. I would think.
Yeah, he played great. I mean, our midfield is stacked.
It really is.
We just need a striker. We just need a finisher.
Speaking of,
Pulisic is not a finisher. He's a creator.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, he's a playmaker. He can't. We need a striker that can just put the fucking ball in the back of the net, like Lukaku.
Yeah, Lukaku. Yeah.
Just kidding. Not Lukaku, but Lukaku.
Another thing about Arsenal, Gabriel Jesus for Brazil got hurt. Gabby Jesus for Brazil got hurt. He's out 3 months.
Morocco's got 10 players.
Plays for Arsenal. Pat, thoughts? Gabriel Jesus. I know, me too.
$50,000 on my neck. I'm upset. You know what I'm saying? No, it's pissing me. It's pissing me off. I said,
Ferg, bro.
I'm supposed to be ASAP. I know I'm supposed to be ASAP Ferg. I was still on Drake's bars. Anyway, I said this before the World Cup started. Somebody's gonna get hurt, right? Somebody's gonna get hurt. And it just happens to be one of our best fucking players. So that's fantastic.
Sorry. I'm trying to focus on the podcast and the Portugal.
I know this is.
Yeah, you're ahead of me.
All right. Speaking of signing of players in MLS and US, Messi might go to Miami right after this World Cup or right after.
I think I think he'd probably wait a couple more years.
And apparently, it's going to be the biggest contract ever. It's going to be a lot of money.
Well, Ronaldo just signed. He's making like $230 million a year for that Saudi
Is
club.
that
Like,
happening?
that's
I don't know
insane.
if that's happening though.
Yeah, it's already confirmed. He's going. He's going.
Wait, is it
What a
true
loser.
that Messi and Ronaldo don't have a World Cup win?
Yeah, they neither one.
What the fuck?
Yes, the whole fucking. Are you stupid,
What
dude?
the fuck?
That's all they've been ever talking about. The whole World Cup.
I think.
Well,
if
all I care
Messi
about
wins
is
this-
Brazil.
Oh!
No,
Oh!
no.
What happened?
What the fuck is that? Oh my god, he could have put the game away.
Oh my god! What the hell was that?
That was the worst shot I've ever seen in my life.
Both just had the same reaction. Just mine
just
was like
happened?
15 seconds later.
What just happened? What just happened?
Morocco had a one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he just tapped it right to the goalkeeper.
He did a little pussy kick. A
He
little pussy
tried, to,
flip.
he tried to flick it over the goalkeeper, but it didn't. It barely got like 5 feet off the ground. Oh my god!
I
Another one.
love it. I
Just
am
kidding.
absolutely loving this shit. I think the World Cup is like a top. It's like such a good event.
It's
Well,
the most
right.
watched. It's the
Despite where
most.
it's held.
It's the most viewed sporting event ever.
Yeah. What I was saying about Messi, though, to me, I think it. If Messi wins this, to me and you, Pat, I know there's no GOAT debate to me and you. It's Messi, but there are people that legitimately think Ronaldo's the GOAT, even if we don't understand it. I think if Messi wins this, you can't even think that anymore.
Okay.
I said that. I said this.
Anyone could think that.
Oh, I said this the other day. Ronaldo's greatest achievement is being compared to Messi.
Yeah.
Like I think Ronaldo is easily like one of the greatest, most talented, most accomplished players of all time. Right? You cannot deny what he's done. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
of course.
Oh my god, Pepe.
What?
Whatever.
Oh
But-
my God, Pepe. By the way, on Portugal, number 15, Rafael Leao, bro, he's so good. He's also like he's
Come
also
on, Penaldo, get ahead on that.
number
Anyway.
15, Lucas, number 15 on Portugal. He's a rapper too. You should listen to his shit.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways.
Bro, what the fuck? You just did that.
All right.
Bro, is Morocco on a red card?
They have 10 players on the field.
Holy
Hold
shit!
up, hold up.
Well,
Nah, Brazil, if Portugal doesn't that's embarrassing. Bro. Yo, by the way, did you see that stream with Speed and Aiden where they were just farting on that girl? That I don't know why that just reminds. Lucas, you've never seen that, bro.
No, I haven't.
It was all over my
What?
TikTok for 3 days, bro. They literally, Aiden and Speed were just sitting with this girl, and they just kept farting like over and over again. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
That's it.
Yeah,
That's got to be it.
Is that the
Bro,
end of the
there's no-
game?
Portugal just lost, bro.
Hold.
Hold.
There it is. Wow, Morocco goes to the
Wow.
semis. Unbelievable. Is that the first African
Live.
team to go to the semis?
Live on the podcast.
This is unbelievable. dude.
Unbelievable.
That, by the way,
My RA is a Moroccan fan. We'll be right back.
Ronaldo will never win a World Cup.
Wait, can we just
Ever.
end the podcast right here real quick, Pat? Just end it right here.
Wait, I have a question.
Okay, hurry up.
Who do we want to win? England, France. Because personally, I want England.
England.
I want England.
I want England.
I don't really care because I want Argentina to win.
Yeah, me too. I really don't.
Whatever. I watched the Call of
Just
Whatever. I watched the Call of Duty League. I don't care.
the Call of Duty
Freaking
World Cup.
nerd.
Lucas, if you're
Freaking
ever in the Call
nerd.
of Duty World Cup, you gotta tell me, bro, because I'll be there.
Freaking nerd.
I'll come.
What are you
Awesome.
freaking nerd?
Ew. All right. Anyways. Thank you, everyone.
No, all right, wait. Cut that out.
Okay. Thank you again. We are finally back with season 2. Going to try and make a comeback. I'm not gonna guarantee it.
Things happen.
I'm not gonna guarantee it like Cole did last time, where he said that we are definitely going to.
I guarantee.
I guarantee it.
Advertisement.
We will make a TikTok. We will go back on the socials. I have an editing platform. I have a PC. So this is
Listen,
going
just
on
get it.
YouTube. This is going on YouTube and Spotify. So
Listen, I just want to explain to people.
And Spotify?
I just want to explain to people.
and Anchor, our sponsor.
Patrick is now like a professional sports writer for his college.
Thank you for sponsoring this episode, Anchor. We thank you for
Thank you for staying with
thank
us.
you. You're the best sponsor ever. Thank you so much.
Patrick's the reason why we can't record because he's
It's all Pat's
he's
fault.
a big sports writer for Springfield College.
If you wanna blame anybody on the
kind
podcast
of
about
a
why
big
we, if you wanna blame anybody on why we don't upload, it's Pat's fault. Okay, so if you
Yeah,
wanna
it
say
really is.
anything, hit up Pat. Be like,
Yeah.
fuck you, and
hit his DMs and be like, dude,
Hit my DMs. And
and
send me some hate,
send him death threats.
I don't get enough
No,
hate in my life, really.
I don't get
yeah,
enough.
send-
I hate you,
please send my
Pat.
friend death threats.
All right.
Livy
Tweet
Dunn.
it.
Livy Dunn, if
Not
you're
enough-
listening,
not
hit my
enough-
DMs.
Not enough people dislike me. You know what I'm saying? So like, send me some hate.
All
Livy
right.
Dunn, please respond to my DM, please.
Thank you, everyone, and have a good day.